Bonjour ladies and gents, welcome back. In this video I'm gonna give my thoughts about the semifinals that have played earlier today and a preview of the upcoming final between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. To expected name, the final that everybody wants to see, and it's a dream final. This is gonna be the clash of the titans. It's gonna be a super titan clash with the two best players in the world. These two has dominated the ranking. Nobody but them has been number one since Roger was number one in 2018. A short time there in I think it was in February or March, and after that either Nadal or Djokovic has been number one in the world, and it's a well-deserved spot for both of these players because why? I expect a lot from these guys. Many people, many tennis experts expect too much from the next gens. By all means, they have the right to do that because they are on professional level. They have to start delivering sometimes. They put pressure on them. They expect big things from them. Some of them have already achieved a little success in their careers. Dominic won his first Grand Slam, but he's not a next-gen player in my eyes. We have a guy like Tsitsipas, we have Medvedev, we have Rublev, we have a bunch of other guys that have knocking on the door, but none of them have failed to deliver really great results at the Grand Slam. Tsitsipas at least has two semi-final spots in the Grand Slam tournament, and Medvedev have a final and a semi-final spot, and Dominic team, like I told you, if you count the new players, if you don't count the old guards, he has been in 4 Grand Slams and won his maiden recently at US Open. So I put my expectation very high when I see a quality player, and a quality player in my eyes are players like Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal. So I I actually expect more from them than the next gen players and the old gen or lost gen players that we can also put them in that category. So boy, what a match today. First Rafael's performance where he didn't school the Argentinian sportsman, but he showed why he's the king of clay. And Novak Djokovic looked super supreme in his first 2.5 set, almost 3 sets. But then the young Greek woke up. He managed to get an extra life, extra energy, and fought back like a lion. He saved match point. He came back. It took Novak to a fifth deciding set. But in the end, Novak was just too strong for him. He was just too he was the better player by all means, but the young Greek put up hell of a fight and should be rewarded with applause and good criticism because he has done it really good. Because when you saw him at Rome, we crashed out early against Sinner. He blew those. He blew his serve opportunity to win the Hamburg title against Rublev. He was up 5-3, had the victory on his racket, on his serve, but failed and gave Rublev the chance to come back. And then in the quarterfinal against Rublev, he was on the verge of losing the first set, but came back and fought back and won that match pretty easy after that, after the first set tiebreak. And now he took Novak Djokovic to a 5-set battle. That's a huge achievement because Novak has really looked super supreme in this tournament, and before it was almost like he was invincible, but the way he played in the first 2 sets was just amazing to see. Novak on fire, on all of his cylinders were on fire, because I was pretty impressed with Novak. I have never seen a guy that is so complete like Novak Djokovic. His serves are out of this world. It gives him. It's very underrated. He gives many free points. His returns are out of the world. His ground strokes from both wings with such a depth, with such a precision, and the deep and the depth in his ground stroke when he finds those lines is just, I've never witnessed a player with that strength that can keep pushing those ground strokes from the baseline, those swings so deep and so accurate like Novak does, and it's always impossible to stand in his way, because he will make you do those unforced errors. All right, a little bit about the other match. I'm gonna go into both of these matches that has played today. This both semifinals. I will start with Rafael Nadal, who won. I think he won 6-3, 6-3, and 7-6 in the third set tiebreak there, where he won 7-0. You say it was a mini bagel from Rafael Nadal. In the first and second set, Diego Schwartzman was very passive. He waited for Nadal. It was almost like he was waiting for Nadal to miss or give away 3 points. But if you know Rafa by now, you know that he's not in gift giving mood. Has never been and never will. So Diego Schwartzman should have had changes approach in the first set, and should have taken care of those break point opportunities that he got. He blew it first in Nadal's service game, and then after that Nadal immediately broke him, and then after that it was pretty much over for Diego Schwartzman. But you have to be more intensive. You don't want to give Rafael time, because Diego, he's a great grinder. He's a solid baseline player. But if you don't go for the trigger or mix up the shot, you give Rafael time. And nobody's better than keep the ball alive than Rafael Nadal, because he won't give you anything for free. He won't let this opportunity slip through his hand. He's like the Grinch. If you give him a little bit, he will take your soul, not the finger, not your arm, not your hand. He will take your entire soul and finish you off like a good snack. And Diego experienced that today, because look, he won at the Rome ATP Masters. But remember, this is Philippe Chatrier, Rafa's living room. It's different to go out and have the confidence to beat Rafa in a 3-set match, and then compare it to a 5-set battle like Grand Slam is. It's not the same when you meet Djokovic and Nadal. Mostly Nadal. We saw that Tsitsipas really pushed Novak for 4 sets, almost 4 sets. And Rafa haven't experienced that pressure yet in this tournament, but he will face that pressure in the final. I'm 100% sure of that. Novak is not like Diego, and Diego's tactic was not good in this match, to be honest, because he was too passive. Like I told you, you can't wait for your opponents to miss if his name is Nadal. Nadal is not Federer, Dominic Thiem, or Wawrinka that can do a lot of unforced error and give you 3 points like they do. Nadal is not that kind of guy. So Diego played very wrong in that match in the first 2 sets, I believe, because Rafa didn't put up hell of a performance. He was solid, rock solid, but nothing more than that. He should have attacked Rafael Nadal's backhand more in the first sets. But in the third set, Diego was more intensive. He went more on to play offensive from the baseline, and with much pressure on Rafael's backhand, and that gave a result. But of course, Diego Schwartzman, a player like him, a short guy, needs a better first and second serve, because Rafa punished his serve and he used that to his own benefit. And with all due respect, Nadal is a guy that if he sees weakness in you, he will eat you alive. And like I told you, you must have bigger weapons than Diego Schwartzman have if you want to beat him, especially at French Open, where he has only lost 2 matches to Nadal. So I think he is up in 99 victories now here, and he is waiting for his 100th victory. Will it be on Sunday against Novak? We will see. All in all, Rafa made an okay, superb, not a super terrific, amazing match that he does when he crushes his opponent. He still won the 3 straight sets, and that's good sign. That send out signal to Novak Djokovic that I beat this guy without putting much effort. And Rafa won 68% of his first serves in when his first serve was in, and 53% of his second serves in. And I believe he returned decent in this match. He won 38% of Diego's first serve and 53 of his second serve. We know that Diego is not a great server. That's where he lost the match, and with his bad returns. And then Rafa got him exactly where he wanted. Rafa hit 38 winners and 34 unforced serves in this match, and was better on converting break points. He won 6 out of 9, and Diego only 3 out of 12. Similar to Stefanos, who only converted 4 out of 15 opportunities when he had the break point. You don't win big, tough, tight matches like a semifinal in a Grand Slam if you don't convert your break points. And Diego's first serves numbers was he won 62% of his first serves in, and I believe 38 of his second serves, and return not that great. 32%. He won 32% of Rafael's first serve and 47 of his second serve, and only did 24 winners. That's also low numbers. You can't beat a guy like Nadal with only 24 winners. And he made it twice as much as unforced errors. That's not okay either. That's why he lost. He simply lost because Rafael Nadal was the better player without showing any supreme clay court level. But Nadal is in the final. He hasn't dropped a set. He's looking good. He's has everything worked out for him with his simple rounds in this tournament. Gerasimov, McDonald, and then he met Travaglia, and then he beat who did he beat in the fourth round? Was it I forgot. Either way, he beat Yannick Sinner in the quarterfinals in 3 straight sets, and now Diego Schwartzman in the semifinal. So Rafa I forgot, it was Peter Corda in the fourth round. So I have had a decent run. These really don't show that he's on the supreme level. He still has the biggest test left, and that is Novak Djokovic, who served pretty decent in this match. He won 73% of his first serves in and 47 of his second serves in, and he returned not like he in the first 2 sets. He returns extremely well, but in the last 3 sets his number dipped a little bit. He totally won 41% of Tsitsipas' first serves and 39 of his second serves in. So, and he did 56 winners, huge numbers, but he also made 50 unforced errors, most of them in the third and fourth set. And he converted 8 out of 22 breakpoint opportunities. And the young Greek, the golden boy of tennis, in my opinion, I still have that opinion, he won 59% of his first serves in and 49% of his second serves in. That number should have been a bit higher, around 10% on each, and maybe then he would have won the match. But he didn't return good not in the first, in the second, and in the fifth set. It's one of his weaknesses. The returns and his backhand. And we saw that today. He really won only 28% of Novak's first serves and for 39 of his second serves in. And did 52 winners and 56 unforced errors. And like I told you earlier, he only took care of 4 out of 15 break point opportunities. But one thing is, this was an heroic performance from Stefanos Tsitsipas' racket and mind. He played his game. Still, when he was down under 2 sets, he played his game. Novak was almost finishing the match. He had the match points, but he came back, and after that, when he was in big trouble until the 5th set, he somehow, when he faced break points, and in the beginning of his 5th set, he played huge. His game level just rised, and that's a good sign of a future champion, because I was pretty impressed with the young Greek's mindset when Novak had those break points after break points. He just took out the huge serve or went for the winner. He didn't get passive like Novak did in the 3rd and the 4th set. Novak was way too passive and let the young Greek into the match. He was waiting for the Greek to do the mistakes, and he got punished for that. He lost 2 sets. You can say that he barely survived, but he won the last set pretty comfortable after winning the first set 6-3, the second 6-2, and then he lost the third set 5-7. And Stefanos was clutch in that 4th set when it was 4-4. He broke Novak, I think, or he was served and broke Novak when he was 5-4 up, and won that 4th set, important set 6-4, and was really on his toe in the beginning of the 5th set, but after the 3rd game, the air went out and Novak just took Stefanos by his long hair and showed him that I'm the best player in the world. You have done enough now. You have put up a solid performance, but I'm the number 1, and I'm still gonna be that. I'm not gonna lose to you. Maybe I won't lose to Nadal either, but Novak showed why he's the big champion. So Novak, all in all, served okay, way more than average. The depth and the length in his backhand and forehand are just amazing. The coordination, the court coverage. I can't find any. The only thing that I can find a lack of, if I have to find something negative, it's Novak sometimes, every other 5 match, he disappears for a little while. He did that in this match, and Stefanos came back and he could have won this match, but he wasn't strong enough. I think it was a physical collapse also in the 5th set. He was tired, and Novak played more solid. Novak made you work for that extra ball pretty hard, like Nadal does so pretty damn well. He's the best player of, like Diego. He's a solid grinder. But we have seen many good grinders in this tournament. We have seen guys like Sinner. We have seen PCB. But if you meet a wall like Nadal or Djokovic, you always have to play that extra ball. When you have to play that extra ball, then it affects other areas, your coordination, your timing, your stamina. And that's why these guys are the best, the big 3. Why they have won so many Grand Slams? It's just because they have everything. Those small details that you don't think about when they step to the court and play tennis. You don't think about the coordination, the stamina, or things that is not visible. That's where those guys steps in, and that's why you know that they have trained harder than anybody else in the world. It's not, you can't just go live on your talent. If a guy like Fonini or Monfils had a better tennis brain, I'm not saying that they are stupid. They have won plenty of titles, but if they had a better mindset, if they were thinking more with their brain, maybe they should have challenged one of these big three more on regular basis, not only in occasional Grand Slams or other lower ranked tournaments. But anyway, and now on to the preview, the final preview, the Clash of the Titans. This is really a final that we are, at least I and many people have looking forward to, because we want to see Novak's status. Will he be the first man to beat the clay court king, who has never lost a final here? Look, guys, there are so much on stake in this final. It's not just Rafa against um, um, Djokovic. It's not just that Rafa is counting his Grand Slams like Novak Djokovic does. If Nadal wins, he is gonna equaling Roger Federer's record. If Djokovic wins, he will have 18. He will be one behind Nadal, two behind Federer. But I think in this tournament, in this final, of course, this tournament and the victory is important for both of them. As much as it's important for Djokovic, it's maybe more important for Nadal and vice versa. But remember this: how much is on stake on this final? Because one, if Djokovic wins, he has won all the Grand Slam at least twice. Nadal haven't done that. He will be the first person to beat Nadal at the French Open Roland Garros final. Nobody has done that. And he will keep his legacy continuing and chasing Roger's Grand Slam tally. And for Rafael Nadal, he will equaling Roger's record, of course, with 20 Grand Slams by winning his 13th victory here and his 100th match here at Roland Garros. And then, of course, keeping his final record clean here at Roland Garros, the French Open. And they have met 7 times at French Open, these two giants. Rafael won 6 of them, and they haven't met since Djokovic won in 2015, where he played convincingly. I've never seen Nadal so hopeless at a Grand Slam beside that match. And when Novak schooled him in Australian Open 2019, really Rafa is out of this world when it comes to clay. He has won. He is up 17-7 head-to-head if you count only clay court matches. Novak is up 29-26 head-to-head. But how do you beat a beast like Nadal on clay? You have to be Novak, pretty much. You have to give Nadal his own medicine, for God's sakes, and penetrate those hard balls on his backhand, on his forehand. Don't give Rafael Nadal time. Make him work. Make him be on his toe all the time. Serve good, not solid, not average, super good. Like Robin Söderling did. Hard ground, so put Rafael out of balance. Don't give him time. Or the other type of playing, it's like Roger plays. First strike, ultra aggressive tennis with low unforced error margins. But that's not Novak's game style. We all know that. And what are Nadal's chances? What should Nadal do? What should he do to beat Novak Djokovic? First of all, he should hit his forehand more flat and not with so much topspin. He should go directly and be more aggressive. Try to approach the net a little bit, because in the longer rallies we have seen that many times the last couple of years, that Novak has no man that can take him out from the baseline consistently. Dominic Thiem tried. In the AO final, he couldn't. And many other players, of course. We have seen them. Novak is just another beast when it comes to big stage matches like Nadal. But Rafael Nadal will have to go out of his comfort zone, and that's the baseline. He has to step in court a little bit and beware and try to make Novak run from corner to corner. And when Novak hits a short ball, which is very unrare because he has those depths in his ground strokes, then you have to go for the trigger. You have to serve great. He has to return well. He has to be there all the time like he always does. And it's a mental tough battle between these two giants. But I think that Novak Djokovic have the upper hand against Rafael Nadal. I told you videos before, a couple of weeks ago. I think it was in Cincinnati. I was very brave and bold, and I said that Nadal's and Federer's Grand Slam winning days are over against Novak Djokovic, even if they even if he meets Rafael Nadal at the Roland Garros French Open. I think that Novak will take him out, and not only because there are so many things at stakes for Novak's legacy or Rafael's legacy. He's a more complete player. Like I said, he can slide. He has the coordination. He has the speed. He has the depth in his ground stroke. He is solid. He's like a wall. Everything Nadal does, I think, to be honest, he does better. But Nadal is not king of clay for nothing. And if he takes Novak Djokovic out, because Novak wasn't super convincing in set 3 and set 4 against Stefanos Tsitsipas. Tsitsipas really showed that you can take out Novak Djokovic if you keep pushing him. And then, of course, Novak got a little bit passive in that third and fourth set. And he won't do that. He won't put his guard down against Nadal. Because when he meets Nadal or Federer, something just come up in his head. He wants to prove so much that he's better than them. He's already a better tennis player, pound by pound. But he wants to be better in the history books also, and he's on his way to achieve that, but he's not there yet. He still have a little bit more to prove, a couple of Grand Slams, because he's head-to-head against Roger. We know that he's up in the front seat there against Nadal also. But many people forget that Rogers and Novak's head-to-head until 2015 or something like that, maybe it was a little bit earlier, that Federer had the upper hand. So it was after Roger started to get 33, 34, like they're in their age now, that he started to beat him more on a regular basis. But anyway, Novak is here now. We are in 2020. You can't look at too much at the past because there were different kind of players then. Novak is super complete. I really don't see anybody beating Novak in a Grand Slam final if he reaches the Grand Slam final. That's how good he is. That's how clutch he is. He's a clutch monster. Even though he didn't show that the whole match against Tsitsipas, he showed that he didn't have to convince me that he is the best player, to be honest. Even though the young Greek put up a hell of a performance, he came to life. He started to fight back, and that's what I wanted to see from him. I didn't want to see him losing straight sets. I never want a golden boy or super talented player that are expecting to win Grand Slams if he reaches the semifinal and then getting tossed out in free straight set, even if his opponent's name is Novak Djokovic. So all in all, if I have to pick a name for a winner in this upcoming final, now these two giants has to rest one day. They will rest tomorrow, prepare, and the windy condition can be a benefit for Rafael Nadal. But if it's not too warm, like the condition has been the whole week, it will benefit Novak Djokovic, of course, with the low bouncing. So all in all, I think that Novak will win in 4 sets in this match. That's what I predicted before this tournament in my in my preview. So I won't back down now either, even though Novak has faced tougher competition, in my opinion, uh, after the first week, of course. He had a superb PCB in the quarterfinal, and now had the young Greek Stefanos Tsitsipas in the semifinal. So he has been tested. He has dropped three sets now. But Novak, like a champion he is, I think that he will lift the trophy on Sunday. But I will not be surprised if Rafael Nadal does that. If Nadal does that, he totally deserves it, even though his competition hasn't been that hard as Novak's. But if he takes out Novak, that means that he is the best player, and that's why he will deserve it like more than nobody else. So, do I really have anything more to say? Nadal took his revenge on Diego. The better player won in that match. Tsitsipas, I counted him out after the first 2.5 sets. He bounced back and almost. Novak, when he played those first 2.5 sets, it looked really scary to me that he was super solid. As I said right away, if he plays like this, Nadal won't stand a chance. But Novak has a tough task on Sunday. He showed some sign that he disappeared in this match. That's not to his benefit. But all in all, I think that Novak will lift the trophy. And I will thank you for watching this video. Take care and bye-bye.